The world is facing a pandemic. The whole world, the whole planet Earth under lockdown. 2020 met us with arms wide open. Just as we think, yo, this whole coronavirus thing, COVID-19 thing is about to be over, we get hit. Crazy protests and riots and looting and breaking shit. And we are at a time of uncertainty. 2020, everybody's screaming, this is the worst year. Oh my God, what is going on? And I'm here to tell you, proof to me that you're alive. Food for Thought is here to tell you this is the best year humanity has seen in the last couple generations. Let's talk about that, man. Food for thought. Prove to me you're alive. I'll see you after the intro. What up, YouTube? All my special YouTubers, my beautiful wife, greatest quote of all time. That book, A Journey Inside, is going to be out soon. You need to look out for it. I'm going to be promoting the heck out of it, man, and letting everybody know, because it's going to be the greatest poetry book you ever read, brought to you by none other than my wife. I'm super proud. So huge shout out to my wife, Jim Dillinger, Glenn Clark, Brother Thomas, the usual suspects. Thank you all for being part of the movement. You know, this year started crazy. And you know what the crazy thing is, though? I'm going to try to keep it short. They always tell us that leap years are always the hardest. Leap years are always, you know, crazy. And somehow it happens that, you know, we as a humanity focus on it so much that the shit really comes out to be crazy. And the best example of that is this year, 2020. And when we started the year off, you know, nobody thought that the whole planet would be under lockdown. Can you imagine? You know, even if we ask people that survived, let's say, World War II or the Holocaust, you know, or you know, any of these crazy times in our recent history, you know, if you would ask them, do you ever think that they could lock down the whole planet? They would probably look at you like, what, you crazy? That's never gonna happen. We have actually witnessed the whole planet locked down. And if anybody, because I've been screaming this since 1998, and if anybody argues, is the whole world under one rule? If you still arguing that point, then you are a dummy. Because if we are not under one rule, then how can you lock down the whole planet, 196 territories and counting? Locked down all at the same time, man. Everybody on house arrest, man. You know, we couldn't imagine that, man. I mean, I went through the collapse of, you know, Soviet Union and, you know, perestroika, which was, you know, after the collapse of the Soviet Union. You know, we seen some crazy times back then. But never could I have foreseen something like this. And, you know, so we were all sitting back and kind of, you know, taking it as it is. I guess a lot of us not taking it as it is, because suicides have gone through the roof, so on and so forth, and, you know, domestic abuse and all this other shit. So then, as soon as we, you know, think that, all right, we finally, you know, coming out of this whole coronavirus thing, riots happen, you know, protests to riots to looting. And now we are seeing the city of Seattle, you know, being a part of city of Seattle being overtaken by a group of people, and we're sitting back, especially in America, we're sitting back and we thinking, you know, are we about to witness a civil war? Are we about to witness the division of America? Are we about to witness, you know, something even more drastic than that? And this is what I keep saying, man. America cannot handle a crisis, man. And what I mean by that is, you know, I do Uber Eats, and you know, around a month ago, you know, when this whole coronavirus was still going on, but it was about to, you know, be over, I would pull up into a restaurant. You know, sometimes you don't know which door to go get the food through. So, you know, you would go to the door and somebody would jump up in the door. Oh my God, stand back. Do you have your mask on? Do you have your glove? Do you have your gloves? Stand back. I'll like throw the food at you, all right? Just as long as you keep your social distance, please. They're like, you know, bugging out, going crazy. And still today, you know, it's the end of June. Sometimes you're gonna bring the food to these people. They'll stand like behind the door, like, drop it, mister. Just drop it right there, and you know, I'll just go away. Drop it and go away. I'll get it. You know, people are bugging out, man. And again, America cannot handle a crisis. You know, because growing up in Ukraine in the early 90s, especially after the collapse of the Soviet Union, again, we've seen some crazy ass times, man. So, you know, right now, coronavirus in Ukraine, I mean, you can't really do nothing to us. There's a war going on in Ukraine. So people are like, you know, we're pretty much ready for anything. But America is like, all of a sudden, America is alert. So to anybody and everybody out there, especially David Icke, I'm gonna do a whole video on how David Icke is a hoax. You know, everybody thinks that, you know, we're at a worst time. You know, what's gonna happen? Where are we going? I'm here to tell you that this is actually, again, I'm here to tell you that 2020 is the best time we have seen in human history in at least a couple generations. And let me explain to you what I mean. All of a sudden, the people that were not maybe aware, you know, we're just sheep following the masses, and we're not aware of all the things that are actually going on around the world. You were at your usual routine. You wake up in the morning, you put gas in your car, you go to work, you come home, you do the whole thing, you know, you have a beer, you do the whole thing over the next day, and you don't ever ask yourself nothing. All of a sudden, even those people with this whole coronavirus and everything going on, they're finally asking themselves, what is really going on? Who is really ruling the world? What are we gonna do about it? Is there a future for my children? And anybody, again, why did I mention David Icke? Because David Icke, you know, likes to say that, you know, there's no such thing as climate change or anything like that. Fine, there's no such thing as climate change. But for some reason, we seen with our own eyes the dolphins, the fish coming back to waters of Venice and other waters around the world. Fish and dolphins that have been away for years because the waters were so polluted. Animals coming down from mountains to check out what's going on because all of a sudden cities and towns were quiet for a change. Radars, they used to pick up these massive carbon monoxide clouds over cities, were able to pick up clear spots during this whole coronavirus lockdown. So maybe there is no such thing as climate change, but we are definitely screwing up the planet, screwing up the environment. You can't deny that. And all of a sudden, people that have not been ever thinking about that, now you can clearly see that. So if we can clearly see that, now is going to be the time that we will do something about it. With the riots and with the protests, we are now able to ask ourselves, what is democracy? who are the Democrats, who are the Republicans, again, who is controlling the world, who is controlling the narrative, who is controlling mass media. And the most important question, what are we going to do about it? 2020 is going to be the birth, or is already the birth, the time for the birth of heroes. It is going to be the time where we are tested to the core. Because before all of this, we were just, lazy America. We were kicking back and, stuffing our faces with McDonald's and, closets full of Louis Vuittons and Nikes. And we were like, there's nothing really going on. Let me pop the pill for depression and shit. Let me drink this up with Heineken. All of a sudden, we are smacked into alertness. Whop! Whop! Get up! What's going on? What's going on? So, if you ask me again, 2020 is the best year. For those who have been asleep are woken. For those who did not think that things were really that bad, you got a reality check. And for the rest of us that have been watching this unfold, we say finally, this is our time. This is when we get up and we show all of these son of a bitches, non-human son of a bitches, who we really are and whose home this is. Again, prove to me that you're alive. Food for thought. Nazarene, along with Romaniya, the greatest poet of all time. We are here to tell you 2020 is the best year, and the best year in the recent history of humanity. Try to challenge me on that with the comment. And a quick disclaimer: if you have lost somebody during this time, I am sorry. I am really sorry. But life does not end just in this physical plane. I promise you that. For somebody that actually died in this lifetime, I promise you that. So you will see your loved ones again. I promise you that.